In this video, you are going to learn how to develop this application absolutely from scratch, not only for Android phone, but for an iPhone as well. Complete step-by-step guide that I'm going to give in this video. This will be a complete, absolutely beginner-friendly guide. I'll give you, if you have never written even a single line of code, I'll give you a detailed step-by-step and absolutely beginner guide that how you can develop this application and then run it not only on your browser, but on your mobile devices as well. If you're an Android user or an iOS user, you can actually run this application on both devices without even a single problem. So we'll write one code base and then we'll run it on web, and then run it on Android, and then we run it on iOS. So this is actually going to be a very detailed, beginner friendly and absolutely beginner friendly step-by-step detailed tutorial for you. So please do not forget to subscribe this YouTube channel, and please share it with your family and friends, and please do like this video as well. Our goal for this video is to reach 100 likes for this video. So please subscribe my YouTube channel and like this video. If we reach 100 likes for this video, I will publish the source code of this application for you to have access absolutely for free. All right, so see you. All right, so let's start with our development. We are actually going to use React Native for development of this application. And what is React Native? React Native is actually you might have heard about React. So React Native is actually a JS framework, JavaScript framework. React is used to build web applications, but React Native is used to build mobile application, cross-platform applications. So React Native is actually developed by, it is owned by Meta, Facebook, and so what are cross-platform applications, and why should we use React Native, and what are other options to develop applications? So first of all, what is cross-platform development, or what are cross-platform applications? So cross-platform application means you develop your application once, and then you ship and publish your application on Android and on iOS. Traditionally, you can develop applications in something like Android Studio. If you're actually going to do Android application development for Android phones, so you do in Android Studio. And if you have to develop same version of your application if you have to publish the same version of your application on Apple, so you are going to use something like Swift. So this way your work will be doubled. If you're going to launch your app for Apple today, but tomorrow or after some time you are going to decide that you are going to launch your application on Android platform, because there's a huge audience, more than maybe 2 billion users I think on Android. So if you want to target that kind of audience, so then you have to rebuild your application in Android Studio. But what React Native does, we develop an application once and then we publish it on both Android and on iOS. So even we can publish a web version of our application as well. So if you have built your application, you might have seen a lot of mobile applications, you can access those applications on web as well. So sometimes they are actually developed separately as a web application, or sometimes because they are developed in React Native, you can publish those applications on web for a seamless kind of an experience for users. So it's just like you ship it once and then you publish it on all of these platforms everywhere. You publish it everywhere. You ship it once, then you publish it everywhere. So all right, what is another cross-platform application development option out there that we should consider? That's actually Flutter. So you can use Flutter. Flutter is, again, it's owned by Google, again another tech giant, and it also supports cross-platform development. You can actually use you can develop for both Android and iOS. But Flutter is there's a huge community for Flutter as well, backed by Google. But React Native, if you're actually looking for, maybe you're going to apply for a job as a mobile application developer in future, so I recommend using React Native, because it has the entire framework and the entire kind of, you can say, you will find job easily in React Native rather than Flutter. Flutter, it's good. If you want to use that, it's good, but I highly recommend you using React Native. We won't go in details about comparisons between Flutter and React Native. That will be too boring for you, but for now you just consider that we're going to use React Native. Okay, so now when we develop our applications, mobile application, so there is something that it's different from developing web applications. So when we are creating web applications, we are actually going to have like our I mean we can directly test our applications on our web browser. I mean we just run that application that you can test it on web browser. But in terms of mobile applications, you create your application, you create your code, you compile your code in an IDE like Cursor IDE, or maybe some other IDE if you're using. So you are going to compile your code in Cursor or other maybe VS Code, and then you need to run that application somewhere. So two options there. Either you can actually use an emulator to run your application somewhere, or what we can do, there's an easier way. You can actually test your application directly on your phone. So I got both my Android phone and my iOS phone together to like develop and test this application for you. So how you can actually test your application on your mobile phone. So on Android, it's easier. On Android, when we're developing an application, we can actually create a build, and then we can this is called APK file. So we can upload that APK file on a Google Drive or somewhere, and then we can just like install it directly on our Android phone. But in terms of iPhone, it's different. You can never create an iOS build and then test it on your iPhone directly, because it doesn't. There are like a lot of security issues. You cannot do that. If you are developing on Mac OS, so then you can actually using Xcode, you can compile your mobile application directly in your MacBook or in your if you're using any other device. But on Windows, because we'll be doing development on Windows, so that way you can actually not do that. So there is a solution for that. So that solution is called expo.dev. So we are actually going to use Expo. So Expo acts as you can say as a mediator between React Native and then between the actual between iOS and Android. So you build your application inside React Native, then we use Expo as a mediator to test our applications on these devices. So Expo actually has iOS and Android application. So you can simply download their application, and then you will be running, or you can say emulating your application directly into Expo's their own mobile application. You can simply just go to your App Store or maybe Google Play Store and just download Expo application by writing Expo. So before we start development, you can just download this app, which is called Expo. Here it is. You can just download this Expo Go, and similarly you can write on App Store and you can just look for Expo Go and just install that from there. Next step is, because we're actually building a simple to-do list app, so I got some designs for to-do list app. We will actually explore these designs later on. First of all, let's just jump into setting up our project directly. All right, so we'll just open Cursor. So Cursor, just search for that, and what we'll do next, we'll actually just open our create a directory for our project. So what we'll do, we'll just go to our open folder and then create a directory for that. So let's just call it React Native rn to do. All right, so that's it. That's just our directory name, project directory name. Just click on that, and next step is we have just opened our rn to do. All right, perfect. So once you're in Cursor, what you have to do, simply just click on this button on top right, this panel, and then this panel. So when you click on this panel, it will actually bring this terminal section for you. When you click on this panel, it will actually bring this chat option for you. So what is terminal and what is this entire thing? So terminal is actually a place where you run your commands. This is just simply just like your CMD. So if you're using Windows or your MacBook, so this is just like your CMD. So because actually we are making this tutorial for absolute beginners, so that's why I'm just explaining each and every possible thing that you can have, so you don't feel left out during development of this project. So all right, cool. So first thing first that we're going to do, we are actually going to create an empty project into in here. So what we're going to do, we are actually going to run a command to create an empty project. So if you just simply go to the documentation section of expo.dev, simply just go there and copy this command from here. So simply just copy this command, and so just go to expo.dev and then documentation section. So if you cannot find that, simply just to go to Expo and open Expo website, simply go to docs section and then go to your create a project section. So once you're there, simply just then copy your this thing from there. All right, cool, perfect. So once you're there, simply just paste this command here, and now what it will do, it will actually create an empty project for you. First of all, it will ask us for a name, so we'll call it rn to do list app. I'll just give a name, and then based on that, you see on left side, it is actually going to create an empty React Native project for us. It is going to install all of the dependencies in this project, including like what are the dependencies. Right now, what it is doing is it is actually installing all of the dependencies for us. So using npm install. So what are all of the dependencies are actually, you can say, code libraries that we use. These are the third-party code libraries that we use to run our app. So if you have to add a certain functionality, let's suppose if you have to add a login system or an authentication system, so we need to install something for that authentication system. We need to install a third-party library into our projects, and that third-party library then we'll use that third-party code inside our project. So to do that, that's why our terminal is actually installing all of these required dependencies for our project. So let's just wait for that. And you can see right now we have our project is created, and it has asked us to run your project, navigate to your directory and run one of the following commands. All right, so perfect. So I'll just go to my directory, which is right now this. So right now I'm in this rn to do directory, right? Be very careful. So because you can actually easily just misunderstand this thing here. So right now we are in rn to do option. So what we have to go to this directory, which is rn to do. So let me just go here, create rename, and then copy this name, and then I have to do cd and then this. So right now we are actually inside our directory. So next what we do, let's just run this command to just run directly into our web browser, run this application directly into our web browser, and then see what if it runs directly or if it will ask us to run on Android. So the reason why I'm actually I know we'll actually face an error here. The reason why I'm actually doing that, because I know that once you'll be doing it yourself, or once you'll be trying, so you'll actually make these mistakes. So I'm just like making those mistakes so you can actually understand why we had those. I mean, why I did what I did. So all right, cool, perfect. So our application is running right now in our web browser right now. So if it runs properly, that means everything is set up and installed into our computer. So all right, let's just wait for that. Let's just wait for it to run everything properly. It is just right now compiling everything, compiling our code. So let's just wait for that. All right, as you can see in here, it is showing that your project is being rendered. So render.js is file that is actually using to preview what we have built so far. So I mean, we have just a default kind of template with our application. So right now you can see our application is running right now directly in our browser. But why I did run it directly, like locally in our browser? Why didn't I run it into my mobile, into my mobile and in my mobile application? So if you want to test this application that we just created, this screen, so this is our home page right now. Okay, so if you have to test this, what we have just created, what you have to do, simply just go to your Expo dev application. Simply just go to your Expo in your phone, and then either Android or iOS, and then what you have to do, simply just scan this code over here. So let me just close that. Hold on, because because actually we are running this in web, so that's why it won't allow us to directly do that in here. So it will give an error. So what you have to do, you can either run it on web or simply just scan it using your Expo dev. There it is, using your Expo dev application. Simply just scan this QR code that you're seeing on your screen, and then it will simply just run on your mobile application. So why actually run it on web? So consider it is React Native is actually using web browser as an emulator and just directly running your application in here. So why I did that, because I just wanted to show you how it is looking, because it might not be possible for you to see it on mobile phone. But yeah, if you have to test it on mobile phone, simply just you can just simply just scan this directly in here. I think I'll just give you a demo quickly. So let me just click Command C. So by clicking Command C, our local server will actually stop. So our local server is stopped right now, and then what I'll do, I'll just npm run Android. So let me just do npm run Android. So you can simply just copy this command, because commands can be a bit tricky for you in beginning. So you can simply just copy your command. So npm run Android, simply just do that, and then you can test it on Android phone, or if you have to test it on iOS, you can simply just npm run iOS, and it will run on your iOS phone. It will ask you to install an extra dependency for that. Okay, so it is actually running on emulator. We don't need to run it on emulator. So this is an emulator installed on my computer. We're not gonna use that. I'll just close that, and we'll actually just run on Expo. So I think by the end of this tutorial, I'll then guide you how you can actually run this on Expo app. You can simply just like install it, npm run web, and simply just scan it and then install it on your mobile application. Perfect. Okay, so now we can actually carry on. So yeah, you saw that you could directly use an emulator to run your application for a native experience, or just let's just leave it in our mobile browser, and then I'll guide you later further about Expo. So this is easier for us to like simply like test everything in our web browser for our mobile application. Okay, cool. Next step that I want to do, I'm actually going to just open my project, this project directly, so we don't have to which one, rn to do. So our project like is opened, main root directory is opened. Why I did that? Because sometimes if we just like keep the parent folder as a root directory, so when we use cursor composer for something, so cursor composer, you can just simply open command shift I, simply just open cursor composer. So whenever we like use cursor composer for like making any changes, so cursor composer actually makes changes in parent directory, not in the root directory. So this is an error from cursor composer. So let's just ask cursor composer to make something. You can ideally, what you can do, you can simply just click on this notepad icon here, and then simply just ask it to requirements, just give it a name, requirements. Even before we do that, so now because we have like tested our default template for like our application is now running fine. Now next what you can do is simply just add documentations inside your cursor project. So that means cursor will actually understand everything about like the React Native and every single best practices for React Native, and then it will actually you can say create code accordingly. So what we'll do, we'll simply just go to a docs.expo.dev, and simply just we come here, I'll just click on add, and I'll just go to docs and add a new doc, and then simply just paste my link here. Let me just name something to my link, Expo docs. Simply just do that and just confirm. So as soon as you confirm, so what it will do, it will actually add, like scrape the entire Expo dev this website, and add everything to our cursor's memory. So this way actually we understand that now cursor knows everything about our project right now. So this is the actually core purpose of doing that. So that way cursor will not make any mistakes while writing code. What you can do actually, one more thing is actually you can add React Native as well. So let's just go to React Native and React Native guides, and let's just add this into our getting started. Cool. Let's just do that. Let's just add this in here as well. So I'll just do add docs, add link, React Native docs. I think I have already added that, so I'll just change name a little bit so to make sure that it won't conflict in terms of names. So all right, cool, perfect. So it's added there. Now we can just simply open our cursor composer, and let's just write like kind of requirements for our application, that what we're going to make, what we're going to build. So let's just open ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you're using. Simply just open that, and then let's just ask it that we're going to develop an application and create a requirements kind of thing, our detailed requirements document for us. I am going to develop a React Native mobile application using Expo. Please write. This is a to-do list app. Please, this will have basic functionalities. Please just write requirements for this app. Simply just do that. One more thing that we'll do actually, we'll just go to cursor directory. So simply just go to Google, look for cursor directory. So simply just go there. What is cursor directory? This is actually, these are kind of, you can say, prompts for cursor to tell cursor what to do. So if you're, let's suppose if you're developing a Next.js project, so you can simply just click on there, and you can see you are a senior front-end developer and an expert in React. So this is what we are telling cursor what to do. So what we'll do, I'll just open React Native, and as soon as we go, let's just see if they have for Expo. Let's just go to Expo, I think. So you're an expert in TypeScript, React Native, Expo. Let's just copy this and let's just paste it. Let's just create a file in here into our project root directory. Call it cursor CUR CURSOR RULES. Let's just name it dot. So just name it as dot cursor rules. Simply name it that, and then simply just paste it here. Save it here, and then now this is actually a cursor rules file. So what cursor will do, cursor will actually follow these rules to like develop our application. So this is just like a best, like you can say, I'm just like guiding you to set up as a best practices to develop our application. So it is just telling you are an expert in TypeScript, React Native, Expo, and mobile UI development, code style and structure, write concise technical TypeScript code with accurate examples, and all of, just like it is just like giving it kind of an guideline what to do. So let's just go back to our ChatGPT. Let's just copy our requirements from here. Requirements for React Native to-do list. Okay. Using Expo, let's just copy this, and let's just go to our Control-Shift-I. Let's just paste it here inside our requirements, and then that's it. I think we are good to go. Let's just remove this section. All right. So let's ask this file now, the cursor composer. I am developing a to-do list app, a simple to-do list app using React Native and Expo Go. I have set up basic project. I want you to create a home screen for my project. So let's just create a home screen directly before start creating like sign in and all of that. So let's just start creating a home screen. Let me just add requirements, tag requirements here. REQU, what was the name of these requirements? And then let me just tag code base here. So just add and simply just tag code base and simply just click on enter. So what it will do now, it will actually create, like, make modifications wherever required. So I will help you create a search. Okay, so now it will actually create code and make modifications, update code files and everything for us. We are not going to write anything, even a single line of code. So it will do all of that magic for us. So then I mean, this way actually you won't have to do anything. So yeah, so this is why what you need to do, you need to just understand what kind of app you want to build, and Cursor Composer will do everything for you. You need to understand your requirements, you need to understand how to set up your project, you need to understand like how to like set up everything, and then it will just make sure that it develop everything for you. So right now this is what we are having 2 errors. So after we implemented those changings, we are having 2 errors. Let me just simply do that. Okay. We are having 2 errors. First error is index TypeScript not signable. Okay, second icon symbol. Okay, the view style is not signable. So let's just copy both of these errors, paste it here. We are having these 2 errors. Please fix it. Let's just tag code base. Don't forget to tag code base each time whenever you are using Cursor Composer. So this is tag code base. One more thing that I just want to mention by the time it is just fixing these errors. So there's a difference between Cursor Composer and simple chat option in Cursor. So this is Cursor Composer that is actually right now just writing code for us, and then there is a chat option. So what chat does, chat simply just like gives you solution, and then it doesn't like implement things itself. So in Cursor Composer you can actually directly like implement everything. It's just directly implement. So you can see right now it has like fixed these errors. We just asked it to fix, and it has just fixed these errors for us. So what we need to do right now, we need to just run our project, npm run web. Let's just run our project, and it will just run this project for us, and we can simply just test what it has created. So far we haven't given it any guideline. What sort of home do we want, like what sort of home screen do we want? So right now it has created this basic very nice, very basic like application, like a home screen for us. Let me just click on this add. It doesn't work. If I just click on this, okay, fine, perfect, cool, awesome. So I'm happy with that. All right, so let's just ask Cursor Composer now, and let's just like take a screenshot and show it to Cursor Composer as well. And now we can actually, now next step is actually now we can follow a UI design guideline. So for following a UI design guideline, what you can do, you can simply go to something like Figma. So just go to Figma, to do list app design. So just search something on Figma, and it will actually show you some design references. We need just design references. Or if you don't want to go to Figma, if this is just like too much overwhelming for you, so what we can do, you can actually simply go to something like v0.dev. So I'm sure you are aware of v0.dev. If not, please just watch v0.dev video on my YouTube channel, and it will actually give you a detailed guide. So let's just give it a guideline, v0.dev. Please create a front end design of our to-do list app. Let's just not give it any further detail. Let's just like give it basic details, and let's just like start with a basic front end. Let's design our home page first. So if you just like give this command to v0.dev, what it will do, it will actually start creating kind of in Tailwind CSS. It will start creating a design, like high quality design. It's really good. I mean, I'm really impressed. Recently, I have just like created a complete, just before starting this video, for one of my clients, I have created like a very detailed UI design directly from using this thing. So I don't need a front-end design developer anymore. I can just like do it myself. All right, so I think this is just too simple. Let's just ask it to please make it a bit more interesting. All right, so we'll just ask you to make it more interesting, and it will just like try to make some changings. I'm just like trying to be lazy right now. I'm not giving it any reference. So ideally what you can do, you can simply just give it a reference of your favorite applications. Let's suppose if you just open one of these designs, and open in Figma. You can simply just click on that, and you can capture a screenshot of a screen, and then you can simply just give that to Cursor Composer. So maybe I don't know, like maybe this screen, if this is like too complex for us, but you can simply just take a screenshot of this thing and then give it to v0.f. Okay, perfect. This is too much. I mean, okay, let's just see. Okay, fine. All right, this is too much, but let's just try it. I mean, I know this is too much, but do not add too much colors. Also, make a proper header for our app. Make this text small. Add some emojis. So we have now asked it to like do some changing. So let's see if it. So you see like how easy it is, right, these days to like develop applications. Seriously, how easy it is. But yeah, I mean it's all about like, because we are creating something basic, so that's why it is looking easy and simple. But as soon as like we'll jump into something more complex, so then I mean there we can actually find some difficulties in developing something. So but I mean most of our ideas are simple. I mean we just need to make maybe like a basic mobile application. We don't need to develop something rocket science. Okay, cool, perfect. I think this is perfect. I like this design. All right, so what I'll do, I'll simply just take a screenshot from here. We can directly import this into our project as well. Simply we can just click on this and add to code base, but I won't I won't complicate things for you because it will have some errors, and then we'll try to fix those errors. I'll make a separate video for you. I think I have already made a video. You can actually find, I'll add a link in description where you can actually directly add v0.dev code into Cursor Composer. You can find it on my YouTube channel somewhere. So simply just go there and let's just attach our screenshot. Let me just go. I want my home page to my home screen actually to look exactly like the attached screenshot. Come on, let's just add to code base, and that's it. Perfect. So now let's just see what it comes with. So this is easy way of like applying, like doing the front end design. So you can like use v0.dev, and then you can simply just directly import it into your project. But because you're very beginner, you're like starting from basic, so that's why I just didn't do that directly. But I mean ideally you should do that. You can see like v0.dev has created this to-do list application directly in here. We don't need to make that in Cursor, but yeah, I mean because this is just like a front end. There is no backend attached. There is no login system. We cannot do that in v0. v0 is just like a front end design tool, so that's why I mean we cannot do that here. But what we can do is actually we can just like create something functional, basic prototype in v0.dev quickly. So apply all of these changings, and let's see if anything has changed. Let's just go to our thingy. All right, so it has created some things. I'll just add. It is adding. Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. But one problem, I don't like the background. Background is looking very black. Please, the background color. Okay. Without asking that, let's just simply take a screenshot and give it to Cursor. this is how it is looking right now. Please see the attached screenshot. The background is dark. I don't like it. Please change it. Please improve the design. And let's just tag code base. Perfect. So I think we are kind of done with our application. So next step can be actually to directly test it on our phone, and then after that we can just I'll guide you about publishing it on App Store or on Google Play Store. So I'll just give you that guide, and I think then we can sum up our tutorial. So yeah, so I think just the main crucial part was actually setting a project, and then actually like rather than using tools like Bolt.new and those kind of like web browser tools, so like doing that inside proper like an IDE, which is your proper development environment, doing in there, and then creating front end, then using that front end as a reference to ask cursor to make something out of it. So that was, I think those were the main points. So yeah, let's just apply those changings, and then let's just okay, perfect. So now I think we can just ask it to change color of this thing, but overall I like it, this design. Okay, I can't type it. Oh, okay, so it is actually creating that, but it is actually yeah, so it is creating all this design. Even it is like have this progress bar over here. So perfect, cool. What next you can do, you can simply just add a like sign in a page, and then ask cursor composer to the link that sign in page to this thing. So I think this was good enough for us to start with. Let me just ask it to change please change the color of this text. Also, when we type text, write text, it writes in black and white color. I want it to be black. Please update it. And simply just, so I think this is kind of the last change that we'll make in this app, and then we can simply just like move to the next step. So this is just like iteration. So now you can just like keep changing things and keep making modifications in that. I'll just save that simply, and then perfect, cool, awesome. So now when we write, so we can actually see it, what it is writing. So all right, so perfect, this is awesome. So we got a fully functional to-do list app in a very minimum short time. Perfect, awesome. And we didn't even like write a single line of code. We can just push this code to GitHub and then like move it somewhere else. But next step is to now where should you launch, how you should launch this application. So what you can do, simply to test it on your mobile phone, you can simply just scan this on your if you're using Android, so it will be on your Android. So let me just open my Expo dev, scan this QR code. So you can simply just hold on. I can just directly simply just open this. So it will just open it like this. Right now it's just downloading it and just opening it. So right now I'm opening this on my Android phone. Similarly, you can do this on your iOS phone as well. So here it is. Perfect. Our to-do list tab is here. I'll just change it. I'll change some things, and that's it. Awesome. Our app is working and functional. Cool. And similarly, you can just test it on your iPhone as well. But yeah, I mean, it's working, it's functional. All of these options are functional. You can make any further changings in your code to like make it launch ready, publish ready before publishing. But yeah, I mean, what we're gonna use, because we're actually using Expo, so simply you can just create a build. So if we have to create build for this application, we'll have to use something like I think Expo build. I have to create a build, or simply we can just like go to Expo here and find build an application. So I think it will give you an ES build platform. So yeah, okay, so you can just simply just run this command into your CMD, into your terminal here for Android, and for iOS you can simply just run this command and it will just start creating that build. It takes like 10 to 15 minutes to create that build. Where you can see that build, you can simply just go to expo.dev, simply just go to there, and I'll just log in with my account. I'll make sure my password won't be visible. Perfect. Okay, cool. So whenever I make a build inside here inside my project, because it is synced with Expo Dev here, so it will actually it will show my build here. So this is one of a build of my project, so it will just show my build here, and this is I can then download, simply just download from here, and then I can publish it on App Store and Google Play Store. I can make separate video about like creating Google Play listings and then walking you through the actual process of publishing your application on Google Play Store. But yeah, I mean, this was it so far for this tutorial. If you learned something from me, please do not forget to subscribe, and if you want to like have like directly one-to-one call or be part of this podcast, so just leave me an email on my email given in the description, or just book a meeting directly and we can actually talk about some cool ideas. All right, I see you in next video. Bye bye.